And welcome to Hannity. And tonight we are in Palm Beach, Florida, beautiful Mar-a-Lago, where in less than 1 minute we will be joined by the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Now, you might have noticed the former president, he's been in the news a lot recently. Trump haters hoping and praying that he would be arrested in New York last week. It didn't happen. Alvin Bragg's weak and politically charged case against Donald Trump has now imploded, just as President Trump's poll numbers continue to rise. Now, we have a lot of ground to cover, so let's get right to it. Here is part one of my interview with the former president. Mr. President, great to see you again.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you for doing this. As reported, as you know, you're facing a lot of legal challenges. In your opinion, does this help you or hurt you in terms of your chances to win in 2024?
Well, if you listen to the fake news media, it helps because they're all saying it's a scam. Even people that don't like me are saying this is a terrible thing to do for our country. I don't know whether it helps or hurts. I can tell you, in my opinion, it's a new way of cheating on elections. It's called election interference. What they're doing is, if they can't win at the ballot box, because I'm leading everybody by a lot in the polls, for every Republican, frankly, and every Democrat by a lot, including Biden by a lot. And they can't beat you that way. They're going to do this kind of stuff. This is never been done like this before in the history of our country to this extent. People are pleading with the prosecutor, don't do it, it's wrong. Even Democrats, even people that traditionally are not exactly my fans are saying, don't do it, because I didn't do anything wrong. I did nothing wrong.
Let me ask you this then. And I thought about this last week. You were the President of the United States, and I saw your post on Truth Social, and I read the reports in the New York Times, and I saw pundits all over media speculating that you were going to be arrested. That would mean you'd be arrested.
A couple of weeks ago.
You'd be arraigned.
Yeah.
That there'd be a mugshot, you'd be fingerprinted, and maybe even handcuffed. Now, when you think about being at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and juxtapose it to that, how do you deal with that?
Well, I deal with it. We're dealing with very dishonest people. We're dealing with thugs. We're dealing with people I actually believe that hate our country. Last night I had a rally with tens of thousands of people. Like, the press admitted there were at least 25 or 30,000 people. That means you can double it, at least in Texas, Waco, Texas. And it was like a love fest. It was incredible. And at the same time, these are people that really feel that they've been hurt by the way this country is being run. Look at what, in Texas as an example, in Arizona, look at what they're going through at the border. But that's really affected all that just happen to walk through Texas and Arizona. It's affecting every state in the union. It's affecting our country. We have people pouring. I mean, I predict at the end, because they're giving phony numbers, they're giving fake numbers. I predict at the end of the year it'll be 15 million people. That's larger than New York State. Will come in here from mental institutions, insane asylums, as they used to call it, from prisons. You know, the prisons are being emptied out all over South America, and they're being dropped. The people are being dropped into our country. The mental institutions are being emptied out all over South America, but much more than that, all over the world. And they're traveling in through our southern border. I had the strongest, safest southern border in recorded history. There was nothing even close, including for drugs. You know, drugs are coming in at the rate of 10 times what they were 3 years ago. Think of that. Our country, the people are really hurt by it.
I'll get into the economy, I'll get into immigration, energy, and all of that in a second. These are important issues because the country has changed dramatically in just a little over 2 years.
It's true.
I want to ask you about this. You're dealing with 3 major investigations. Last week reports, I want to hand you 2 documents, and I'll explain what they are in a second.
Yeah.
So last week reports in the press, Alvin Bragg's office, the Manhattan DA, is in total, complete chaos, disagreement regarding your case. Monday of last week, Bob Costello gives devastating testimony in terms of if you're looking for an indictment from the grand jury.
To the other side.
One of the letters I gave you is from February of 2018, yes. Michael Cohen's lawyer, and that was exculpatory towards you
totally,
and your company and the campaign. And lastly, TMZ had a report. They brought it back out that I saw, and it was in the Daily Mail, Washington Post. And the second piece that I put up, and we'll put it up on the screen, is Stormy Daniels' denial in writing that you ever had a relationship.
Yeah.
So my question is this.
And denied it on many other occasions, too. I never had a relationship with her. I never had an affair with her. It's all made up.
So here's my question. So with all this information that came out in your favor, you talked about death and destruction. And then the baseball bat picture next to Alvin Bragg, and you did take that down. And my only question is, why open yourself up to criticism?
You have to understand that when the story was put up, I put up a story. We didn't see pictures. We put up a story that was very exculpatory, very good story from the standpoint of what we're talking about. And they put up a picture of me. And you know where I was holding the baseball bat? It was at the White House. Make America, Buy America, because they did a lot of Buy America things. And this is a company that makes baseball bats. Then they put next to that picture a picture of Alvin Bragg. I didn't do it. They did it. I guess the people that do the paper or somebody put pictures together, but I was holding a baseball bat in order to promote Made in America.
It wasn't on your post at Truth Social?
No. What they did is we posted the story, but they had a picture up. They then put a picture up, or the picture was put up that nobody noticed or saw, or that nobody thought was bad. These were two separate pictures. I was promoting Made in America. You make these baseball bats instead of sending over to Japan and China and all other places where they're made. This was a company, good company, that makes baseball bats and other things like that in America. They took that picture from the White House and they put it up, and then they put a picture of Alvin Bragg up. I will say this with death and destruction. I didn't say death and destruction. I said, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I said, I'm afraid that if they do this, which is a fake prosecution, where my worst enemies say that he's totally innocent. I mean, I can't believe people that have never been positive to me or defended me, that don't like me, they're on the other side of the world. These are people that said, you can't do this prosecution. It will cause tremendous problems. I didn't say do something bad. I say I am afraid that people will do something because people are very angry about it. Look, here's a letter from Stormy Daniels saying we never had an affair. Here's a letter from a very highly respected gentleman, Stephen Ryan, a very highly respected firm, McDermott, Will, and Emery, but Stephen Ryan's respected. He writes a letter saying everything I said was right, everything that his client, this is his lawyer, not my lawyer, and Bob Costello is one of the most respected lawyers anywhere in the country. He served in the government at the highest positions, all of that. He went in because he witnessed, he was a lawyer for Michael Cohen. He went in because he saw what Michael Cohen was saying, and he said, that's a lie. That's terrible what he's saying.
He was on my show last week.
I know that, and I thought